Check Pro Joe here on the Check Pro Radio Show with my good friend Jon Phillips from A1 Garage Door. Hey, John, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. How are you, Check Pro?
I am doing fantastic. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me here on the program, as always. All right, let's talk about inspections and tune-ups. The details. There are details in this, and I understand that there's like 3 different inspections within one, like a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Can you explain that to the viewers?
That's exactly right. So, one, our complimentary inspection we do on every single call. So when I arrive at your home or another technician from A1 Garage Door, we're going to sit down, we're going to see the door as is. Now, without getting too much into the weeds, I mean, we're going through every nut and bolt, bearing, spring, bracket, cable, track, anything you can think of, to the operator itself and the internals of it, to all the whistles and bells that make your door run. Now, whenever we do that, we have a base, right? So our base is done. We know what the door as is. So we're going to fix the problem you called us out for. We also can address anything that can, instead of kicking the tin can down the road, essentially, we can address things that we can see are going to be a problem in the future. Now, after we do our interventions and our fix our problems, we do it again. And through this process, we're taking pictures at the beginning and we're taking pictures after. And then we actually do once more over, and it's our data sheet, because it's not just the technician's eyes and not just your eyes as our client. We have people on the back end making sure everything was done perfectly. So we have first, second, third degrees of compliance to make sure that everything was done absolutely perfect and we didn't miss anything, so people don't have to deal with this problem again.
I would imagine it's kind of like when they're getting ready to launch a new rocket at NASA or SpaceX. They kind of, review and test and boom, boom, boom over and over again. And finally, everything's great with your garage door, Mr. or Mrs. Smith. We've done this, and this over and over again. And, come look and let's press the button and we'll show you. That type of thing.
That's exactly right. Whether it's like rocket launches, if you take it even to a similar degree, aircraft, everything like that, they have 3 different mechanics and electricians, and everyone gets their hand on it and everything is double, triple checked. And we treat the door the same way. It's the biggest moving object in your home. It's 40% of your curb appeal. It's the biggest investment as far as ROI. So we take it really seriously. We're garage door nerds. This is all we got to do. So we go at whatever industry takes it to the next level. Why wouldn't we take that to the next level in our own industry? Whether it's garage doors, whether it's plumbing, whether you're a mechanic, or whether you're building rockets. Maybe it's not quite that complicated, but we'll take it to that same degree.
Yeah, well, A1 Garage Door Service takes garage doors very seriously, and it's not just a garage door for you guys. It is a complete system. You guys know it inside and out. You have the best components, the best springs and rollers and service, and it's the best garage door company out there. Okay, before I let you go, what tests can a homeowner do themselves before they call you out?
Right. So as far as preventative maintenance, that's in the homeowner's hands. So one thing that's big that no matter what company you go with is a balance point test. So there's 3 points. So what that is whenever you have your garage door closed, make sure we don't pull that manual release while it's up in the air, because if those springs are bad and that operator's the only thing holding it up, could fall to the ground. We don't want that. So anytime you pull that manual release, just go out and check it every, 4 or 6 months. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that and I'm going to lift the door until that panel starts to go through that curvature, that radius. Now, wherever I leave that door, each panel going through, the door should stay in place. So it should hover, call it door float, call it balance. There's many different names, but I want that door, that each panel that breaks through that curvature in the track, that it stays perfectly in place. This means that your springs are in good health, that you have the right springs and the right turns. Now, if it's not, then any one of those three things could probably be off upon other things. So if you see that and it's just slamming back to the ground, you need to call a professional. We need to get those springs looked at. Lubing, obviously, is a very big thing. One thing that we shouldn't do is shouldn't put WD-40 on that door. Don't
I
do
know
it.
that.
It's a penetrant, all right? But I go there, there's people where WD-40 fixed everything. It's like the duct tape of chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd put it in their cereal if they could. Some people are just so hard bargain to it. But you need to find something that's white lithium, silicone based, or just the fact on the can that it says it's for garage doors. So then whenever I do that, you don't want to be putting stuff in the tracks because the rollers are meant to roll. So if I just spray all the tracks to where the rollers are just sliding, defeats the purpose. It's a lot of dead weight now and it's dragging. So you just want to get bearings. You want to get the bearings that are up behind the drums. You want to make sure your rail is really good. You also want to check on those safety eye connections. If you see any splicing or electrical tape, eventually those collect moisture, they break off. So we want to make sure all those things are secure. And that's about it. Anything beyond that, call a professional because it can get a little hairy.
Yeah. And speaking of a professional, you can call Jon and his team at A1 Garage Door Service. All of Jon's information is located in the description of this podcast. As always, my friend, thank you so much for joining me today on the program.
Thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait till next time.